Hello guys, it's Sean here doing another Beyblade unboxing. This time we have HellsReaper. So finally have this thing. Been waiting a while. This thing's been very hard to find, but finally got it. So I'll go ahead and open this thing up and then we can look at everything that we got. Alright, everything is now out of the box, so all package, whatever. So let's go ahead and start off with the ratchet since it's the one reused part here. So we got 470, which... yeah, I guess it makes sense for the Bay, but it is weird to see Hells with like a reused part, like for a new system, but does seem to be the case. So 470, it looks nice, kind of got this like pinkish, almost magenta color, and then there's black on the outside, which does look really nice, I will say, so I guess that's cool. Also got the new bit here, which is Kick. Kind of like a taper, definitely more shallow than taper from what I could tell, and also has like a hexagonal shape. Basically a mix of taper and hexa, extra burst resistance as well. Yeah, pretty nice. Just kind of a nice red color as well. Kind of, you know, bright. Not too bright though, so I do like the color on this one. We also have the Hells lock chip in black. Really nice sticker though, I will say. Definitely a fan of that. We then have Reaper, the new main blade, so kind of a translucent red, pretty thin as per usual with CX, but I mean it looks pretty cool. I guess you have some attack points here, but it's honestly fairly round. It's definitely kind of like Hellscythe where it's mostly round. We got a little bit of attack going based on CX being tall and well, also Hellscythe is being entirely outclassed. I think this is still gonna just fall to Wizard Rod for competitive, which I don't care too much about, but just, I guess, worth noting. Now for our assist blade we have Turn. So Turn is really nice. It's a nice bright pink. And this thing's actually two parts, which is really cool for an assist blade. Pushed out like this, and you could like flip this part over and then kind of put this back in. Now this part's kind of like downward, which is weird. I don't think I like this mode as much though. I like the other mode more, so just go ahead and put it back like that. So this is the mode that I opened it up and it was already, you know, like this, but I do think I prefer it. Alright, let's go ahead and do part weights now. So first up, let's go ahead and do a 470, 6.41, we got Kick, 2.2, Hells, 1.69, Turn, 5.78, fairly heavy for an assist blade, so that's pretty cool, and then Reaper coming in at 29.07, and then the full blade will weigh in at 36.55, so as per usual, these bays are definitely getting heavier for sure, and then the full combo here will be, you know, 45.17, so pretty decent weight, I would say, so yeah, definitely not bad. Let's go ahead and start putting this bay together, so this will be interesting. Let's see that. Okay, so I want to make sure this thing doesn't like fall apart on me, and should probably fix this. There we go. So still a little bit awkward, I feel, to put some of these parts together, but whatever. That's close enough. I don't know if the orientation will be right on this, but let's hope for the best. Okay, I think I got this, but it feels very loose. I don't know if this thing is just ridiculously tight and I just did not get this properly, or if it's just really loose and doesn't lock in very well. Might just be mine, but yeah, that's just kind of the conclusion that I came to, so I guess hopefully that's correct, but yeah, definitely the loosest I've ever had for the lock chips, but again, could just be mine, or maybe I screwed up and it's actually like really tight and I just did not get it properly, but I don't know, to me that looks about right. So anyway, just a weird side note there, but let's go ahead and finish putting this thing together, put our ratchet in place, and of course our bit, and let's take a look at this thing. So here is HellsReaper Turn 470 Kick. This thing looks like really, really nice, actually. I'm a big fan of how this thing looks. And it also has a little bit of a gimmick with the assist blade being able to flip, which is, you know, it's definitely something at least. Let's go ahead and do some comparisons. So first up to Hell's Scythe, you definitely see the kind of overall shape is reminiscent of Hell's Scythe for sure, so Reaper is definitely based on it. They also both have four-sided ratchets. Taper and Kick. I like Kick's color better, but yeah, both definitely similar ideas. Hell's Chain's different, but you can definitely see the color scheme inspiration on HellsReaper, so yeah. I always kind of wanted the ratchet to be something like this on chain, so I'm kind of glad they did a similar color scheme here, but you definitely see the pink here. Not the same here, but still, I guess, somewhat of a similar idea. A little bit, anyway. And then Hell's Hammer is just completely different. This has nothing to do with anything. This is like... yeah, it's different. The only similarity is really a hexa, with like the hexagonal part being on Kick, but beyond that, this is like completely different, so that's HellsReaper. I don't have a whole lot to say about this bay, I feel, because a lot of it, like again, 470 is reused. Kick is, this thing doesn't want to stay up, I'll just leave it like that, it's close enough. Kick is, you know, just kind of a taper variant with a little bit of hexa inspiration, and again, the main blade doesn't have a whole lot going on. The assist blade's cool, I like the idea there, but again, there's just not much for me to really talk about with this one, since it's kind of just Hell Scythe, but CX, plus some Hell's Chain color inspiration. Like, not much to say on that, really. Now, as far as my rankings go, physically, I would say this thing has to be a 9 out of 10, right? Like, it looks really, really cool. The shape's cool enough, but that color scheme is just really nice. Definitely a fan of it. It is a little much, because you got, like, you know, red, like, you know, this, like, darker magenta, black, got bright pink. There's just a lot going on here, so it is a bit weird in that sense, and I don't think the main blade's shape is all that interesting, so I don't want to give this a 10, but I feel like I gotta at least give it a 9. For the conceptual score, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's good. Main blade is pretty bland. It's kind of an early CX balance type, kind of what you'd expect, honestly. 470 pairs fine. Kick is more of a variant, but sure. That said, you do have Turn, which does give you at least something to do with this bay that's not just, you know, nothing. So, otherwise, I mean, being kind of the first balance type of CX, I'd probably give this thing a 5, but I think you get some more playability out of Turn. Even if it's nothing crazy, I think it is still something noteworthy. It's interesting. It's something that we haven't really seen in Beyblade X yet, so I'll get a couple extra points for that, because I think, again, that is new and interesting. But beyond that, kind of just an early balance type in a new line like you would, you know, expect. That's really all I'm going to say for HellsReaper. Nothing crazy, but it's still cool in the sense of, you know, its appearance, I would say, and conceptually, I mean, Turn does something beyond that, pretty basic, but yeah, it's everything. Random Reaper's video should be out fairly soon. I'll also have actually an unlisted video for the rest of Random Booster Volume 6, because I actually got the extra pulls this time, and I feel like it doesn't really fit into a normal video, so I'll leave that in the description if you want to find it, but anyway, that's all I gotta say, so thanks for watching, and bye-bye.